All right, and if you haven't finished, you can go back to that. It'll be open, and you have multiple times to go at it. It's just a review. All right, we'll go through it tomorrow morning. If you'd like the solutions to that, so if you want to go back to it tonight, feel free. All right, these are the solutions to last night's homework. If you want to take a look, those are the solutions to last night's homework. You should all be coming back. So that's 1 through 24. We'll move that over there. Move this over there. Much space as we can. And so there's 1 through 24. All right. Any questions about 1 through 24? Any questions about 1 through 24? Number 8, 102 gone. All right. All right, so we got 8, 15, and 17 thus far. All right, 8, 15, and 17 thus far. All right, number 8 was 102 gone. All right, and number 8 asked, I believe, for the angle sum. Yes, it did. So we're going to use the formula n minus 2 times 180. Since n is 102, 102 minus 2 would be 100. And 100 times 180 is 18, followed by 3 zeros, making it 18,000. All right. 15. All right. So let me jot it down first. 15 and 17. 15 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 sides. And 17 is 11 sides. All right. So now it wants the individual angle measure. All right. So again, exteriors always add up to 360. 360 divided by 7 is 51 and 3/7. That's the exterior angle. To get the interior angle, you just subtract that from 180. And you get 128 and 4/7. They round it again. All right. Number 17, 11 side, same idea. An undecagon, 360 divided by 11. 11 goes into 36 32 times and 8/11, I believe. So again, we subtract that from 180. And we get 147 and 3/11. So there's 15 and 17 working with fractions. No problem. All right. Any others from that group? Good. All right. Well, then there's 25 through 29. There's 25 through 29. All right. Any question? Oh, okay. 26 and 28. All right, let me set them up and then we're good to go. All right, so it would be 2 times y plus 4 times 2y minus 20 equals 180 times 4 is 720. And then 27 is a pentagon. So 1, 2, 3, 442 plus x equals 5. All right, so, all right, in number 26, we got a hexagon. 2 of the angles measure y, 4 of the angles measure 2y minus 20, and it's a hexagon, so it's 180 times 6 minus 2, which is 4. 180 times 4 is 720. Now I'm going to distribute 2y plus 8y minus 80 equals 720. 10y minus 80 equals 720. 10y equals 800. Y equals 80. When you plug that back in, the angles that were y are both going to be 80 degrees. The angles that were 2y minus 20, if I plug them in, 80 times 2 is 160. 160 minus 20 is 140. So those 4 angles would be 140. When I look at 28, I got a pentagon. So 5 minus 2 is 3. 180 times 3 is 540. The angles they give me add up to 442. The one that's missing is x. To get rid of the plus 442, I subtract 442. And I get x equals 98. All right. Yes, I am videotaping. Good. So these solutions will also be posted later. 25 and 27. Okay. This did. Oh, I gotta do 28. I did not do 28. Sorry about that. Okay, so I gotta do 28. So that was 27. All right, so I gotta do 28. So 25 and 28. 2 times 2x plus 20. 2 times 2x equals 360. And then 28. 3 times x plus 3 times x plus 50 equals 720. All right, so $25 and $28. 25, 2 of the angles measure 2x plus 20, and 2 of them are 2x. So it's the same idea. It's a quadrilateral, so the angles add up to 360. I distribute through 4x plus 40 plus 4x equals 360. 4x plus 4x is 8x. Plus 40 equals 360. Subtract the 40 from both sides. 8x equals 320. Divide by 8, and x equals 40. Plugging that in. 2 times 40 is 80. 80 plus 20 is 100. So 2 of the angles are going to be 100. 2 times 40 is 80. So 2 of the angles are 80. Now 28's a little tricky. Okay, 28's a little tricky in that it's hard to tell which angles are which. So in 28, that's x plus 50, that's also x plus 50, and that's x plus 50. All right, so there's actually 4 different angles that are x plus 50. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 3 of them are x. There's 7 angles. All right, so when I set up my equation, all right, 3 times x plus 4 times x plus 50 equals and it is a 7-sided figure, so that adds up to 900 because it's 180 times 7 minus 2. All right, 3 times x is 3x. 4 times x plus 50 is 4x plus 200 equals 900. 3x plus 4x is 7x. 7x equals 700, and x equals 100. Plug it back in. All the ones that are x would be 100 degrees. All the ones that are x plus 50 would be 150. All right. There is 30 through 47. Everybody good with at least 30 to 35, so I can scroll up a little bit. All right. So there we go. 36 through 57. All right. Give you about 30 more seconds. Okay, so the number of sides in 49 to 57. The measure of an exterior angle of a regular polygon is given. Find the measure of an interior angle, then find the number of sides. Okay, so you're good with finding the interior angle measure because they're supplementary. If that's the exterior angle, let's just get, all right. So if I'm looking, let's say, at random one, 54. All right, 54 says 18. Okay. Basically, all you do is take, what happens is, that's our exterior angle, which is 18 degrees. We know that when we're all done, they're all going to add up to 360. So basically, if we take 360 and divide by the individual angle measure, we'll know how many sides it has. All right, so basically 360 divided by the exterior angle equals the number of sides. All right. So 360 divided by the exterior angle measure is the easiest way to figure out the number of sides. So like 51, 360 divided by 45 would be 8. It's an octagon. 53. 360 divided by 24 is 15. It's 15 done. The angle itself can be a decimal, all right? But the number of sides has to be an integer. If you divide by the number and you get a decimal, then something went wrong somewhere along the way. No problem, though. All right, everybody else good? Okay. Then let's recap what we did yesterday. So, leading to the properties of all parallelograms. So here's a parallelogram. And there's a parallelogram poorly drawn. Theorem 6.3. Its opposite sides are going to be congruent. All right? So that means that's congruent to that, and that's congruent to that. Theorem 6.4. Its consecutive angles. Its consecutive angles are supplementary. All right? So if I label that A and that B, A plus B equals 180. Its opposite angles are congruent, which can be shown in a diagram. If that's A, this is also A. If that's B, that's also B. All right, now really quick, just to show you where theorem 6.5 comes from, because that's a little different. Here's the parallelogram. We now know that's congruent to that, and that's congruent to that. If I draw in both diagonals, this angle is congruent to that angle by alternate interior angle. This angle is congruent to that angle by alternate interior angle. These two triangles are congruent, all right, by either angle, side angle, or if you use the vertical angles, angle, angle, side. And then that is congruent to that. That is congruent to that by CPCTC. We'll go through that proof next week in more detail so you're more familiar with it. What you need to realize to help you with this is if that's congruent to that, that means that's the midpoint. Same thing there. If that's congruent to that, that's the midpoint. And if two segments intersect at their midpoints, they bisect each other. So the diagonals bisect each other. Again, we'll do that proof together on Tuesday when we come back from the proof. All right. Okay, so let's put it into action. Find the values of the variables in parallelogram DEFG. So it says DG is 2x plus 2. And it says EF is 3x minus 3. All right, they are opposite sides. So when they give you opposite sides of a parallelogram, 2x plus 2 equals 3x minus 3. All right, 2x plus 2 equals 3x minus 3. All right. You set them equal to each other and solve. Subtract 2x from both sides. 2 equals x minus 3. How do we get rid of the minus 3? We add 3, and x equals 5. All right. They also, however, gave me DE is 3x plus 1 and GF is 2x plus 6. If I had set those equal to each other, 3x plus 1 equals 2x plus 6. Subtract 2x from both sides, x plus 1 equals 6. X equals 5. In both cases, you get the same answer. So you can pick either one. All right. So really quick, work on number 7. Take about a minute and a half. Work on number 7. All right. So you get R equals 6. All right. If you had chosen the other ones, D, E, and G, F, 2R plus 6 equals 4R minus 6. 2R equals 12. And R equals 6. All right. So it's not going to matter which ones you pick. Now, when it comes to general information, you have to determine which property is being used. All right. In number 9, they're giving you 3 different sides. You have to remember there's a relationship between the opposite sides. They're the ones that are equal to each other. So B plus 14.5 equals 20.5. B plus 14.5 equals 20.5. Subtract 14.5 from both sides. And B equals 6. Now, if I plug it back in, obviously I'm going to get 20.5. I want to plug it back into there because B is the same value there. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 minus 6.3 is 11.7. So that means both of those sides would be 11.7. All right. All right. So if we look at the one next to it, angles is where you have to distinguish. All right. So you have to look at the angles they give you and understand the relationship. They are consecutive angles. They share a side. Consecutive angles aren't congruent. They are supplementary. The easiest way to see that is one is obtuse and one is acute. Even if it's not drawn to scale, an obtuse and acute can't be equal to each other. All right? So we're going to set up the equation 8s plus 5 plus 3s plus 10 equals 180. So when they are consecutive angles, you add the expressions and set it equal to 180. Now you're going to collect like terms. 8s and 3s is 11s. 5 and 10 is 15. To get rid of the plus 15, you subtract. 11s equals 165. And then divide by 11. S equals 15. When I plug it in, 3 times 15 is 45. 45 plus 10 is 55. 8 times 15 is 120. 120 plus 5 is 125. Which means the opposite angles would be the same measure, or consecutive angles are supplementary. So if you need to fill those in, those are 125. One more and then we're done. All right, if we look at number 24 on the next page, now, instead of consecutive angles, they are opposite angles. When they are opposite angles, they are congruent. So we can take the two expressions, 3a minus 5, and set it equal to 3a equals 45, and a equals 15. So make sure you know the difference. These all show opposite angles, so all of these would be congruent. So you would set the equations equal to each other. All right? Tomorrow we'll finish this packet up. All right? Tomorrow we will finish this packet up, and then you will be off to the races. Don't forget, 6-2 practice and 6-3 practice are due Monday at midnight. So you're going to want to get started on that, all right, to make sure you get it all done. You don't want to be working over the weekend. If you guys are good, I'm good. Have yourself a great 24 hours. I'll be available both in Math Lab and the office hour today. If not, we'll see you tomorrow morning for the last day of the week.
Bye.
Later.